to protect yourself from a possible temporary or longer interruption of the grid, the electric grid, which could be, when you think about it, could be can't pump gas because that makes electricity, lights. People in cold regions would really miss not having electric heat. But in any case, if they live near a dam, I guess maybe they can still get the water still turns, unless there's computer chips in there somewhere that when they fry, maybe it wouldn't work. I don't know. But so you might want to store up some food and rotate it regularly. Food's just going up in price, so it would save you some money to just rotate it and put some more, lay some more. Even the Homeland Security has been telling police and fire select companies and or whatever, but FBI and ATF and DEA, all those people, and I'm told a guy with a top secret clearance doing AWACS said that they told all of them too to have at least 6 months of food and water. At any rate, also a member of the Congress of the state of Arizona was told that by the ex-head of Homeland Security personally, who she knew from politics. I would say the answer to this whole problem of the why isn't my countdown working? Well, so I don't know when I go off now. Well, at any rate, okay, is to rally around your local sheriff. Get to know your sheriff. He is elected. He's not a hardened, proved tyrant criminal like our so-called, Holder. Oh my God, the nasty stuff he was involved with before he was promoted to Nazi prominence. Oh my God, Holder is a friggin' monster. Now, Barry Soetoro, you can't find his school records and all because it's you know him as Barack Obama, but his name is Barry Soetoro. He worked for the CIA, the Nazis, and by the way, in Colombia, but I don't know what he did there, if it was drugs or what, but in any case, I know he's also involved, according to multiple individuals, some very high top secret, high-tech stuff, so he knows about possible, but see, the president doesn't have any power. Since Kennedy, the big boys haven't taken any chances. They don't let anybody near political office, especially not the office of the president, unless they've got all kinds of dirt. In his case, they're hiding the fact that he really wasn't even born in the United States. He really was born in Kenya. International investigative reporter, what's his name now? Anyway, Obama's grandmother happily took him to the birthplace in Kenya of Barry Soetoro, Barack Obama. So that's one dirt they got on him. Also, the FBI had film that another international investigative reporter was going to reveal. He died on the very morning of the day that he was to reveal. He was promising to reveal this. Turns out I found it was a tape the FBI had of Barry Soetoro when he was in college planning the overthrow of America. Of course, as it is, he announced his candidacy for presidential office, or not our office, political office initially, at the home of Bill Ayers, a proven radical. He was arrested as a radical anti-American. He's written books about thinking, well, you need to kill the old people. Well, you can't read history books. Old people have a mind, they have a memory, they can remember things. They know that trade tariffs prevented all the companies from leaving America. They're paid to leave and take your job. This is a deliberate effort to collapse America. They want to trample the rest of the world in ways that much bigger and worse than they're doing now. Why do you think a lot of our soldiers are thinking about suicide when they come back? All the women and children they had to kill senselessly. The importance of that was to get world sentiment way bad against us and to create terrorism to then use as the excuse to disarm the American public. The American public has to be shown why it's necessary. Because since Americans are allowed to own weapons right now, they're the last hope of the world. All the rest of the world can just be run over by tanks. There's nothing they can do. Americans can do something. So that is why all the effort and get the rest of the world to kill the goose that laid the golden egg so they can be killed without just slaughtered, and the American public won't be able to react. But you don't have a free press. You have 4 news agencies now, not a bunch of little mom and pop things that'll actually tell the truth occasionally, right? But 4 giants who have one board of directors between all 4 of them. One board of directors controls every word in the newspaper, most of radio, magazines, the whole 9 yards, folks. So if they don't tell you, you don't know. You better listen to Alex Jones if you're tough, if you can handle it. Now, the liberal mindset, the part that I don't like, liberal used to mean, open-minded. Now it just means permissive. They're not open-minded. They're shopping for a feel-good. If you can spin a yarn that makes them feel better than someone telling you the truth, they'll go for that. They just want to feel good. They want to believe they are safe, so they just want to feel safe. They don't want to have to do anything. They can't stand to think the thought that anything could go wrong. That with a debt way, way bigger than could ever be paid off by the world, much less by America alone, with no jobs, that's no problem. You got to be insane to think that could be a problem, you see. Well, it is a problem. And what's coming is predictable. At any rate, you need to rally around your sheriffs because they can deputize everyone in the whole county, men with arms. This is war. This is a military strategy to take away your weapons first. Both Russia and China have been pushing the president to disarm, which is he's for it anyway, but he doesn't really have much to say about it. He's not the real who's who. I'd say the Rockefeller family and the Rothschild family in London are the real key between the 2 groups of power in the world, the 2 major groups. They're the key in that family line from both continents. Well, the Sandy Hook and whatnot, all these places recorded multiple shooters. Then it was narrowed down to 1 shooter. A SWAT team member dressed like the guy at Sandy Hook was running away, and they caught him, and he said, "I didn't do it." Then it was left out. It was edited out of the press. All like the Shiite temple, there were like several shooters were reported. Then the story was edited to go down to one shooter and a gun. Then they won't let you tell. Then a guy that was going to say, "Hey, all these people were on all these dangerous drugs that even on the label says it makes them suicidal and homicidal and dangerous, like 6 times more likely," and they killed him. Don't want to blame it on drugs. Might affect the drug sales. That's where the really huge profit of the Nazis are. See, Nazi corporations came over here, and they apparently found Solomon's treasure, as was alleged. Anyway, they came up with a whole lot of money during the war and had all these corporations, Bear corporations. Of course, Bear Corporation, which is a Nazi corporation, they changed their name to Rockefeller. But at any rate, and Rothschild, maybe it was Rothschild, I think it was Bear. But in any case, we got a lot of Nazi corporations controlling this country. Like, who is it that Congress recently said, no matter what they do, even if they kill people, not even we can ever do it. They're totally autonomous. No one can do anything to stop the poisoning of the food supply. Millions of people protested around the world, and it was kept out of the U.S. press. They wouldn't want that dangerous idea to save lives to catch on in America. No. That almost between 1 and 3 million people had demonstrated something in New York City, and the media just said, a little handful of 10,000 people or so. See, they're lying, folks. You got one group of evil people, mostly CIA, I'm sure, probably some military people in there too, and who knows, United Nations mainly. We've been doing the fighting for the United Nations. Even in Korea, they didn't come back with an American flag on them. They came back with the United Nations flag on them. And in some cases, I guess, even with a Korean flag on them. I don't know what the parameters are with how they decide what they're going to do. But these, now at the time when they wanted to pass the Small Arms Treaty saying no private individuals in the world have a right to protect themselves, they're in trouble, they can't protect themselves, and the police can only come by afterwards. And so they say they want to take guns away from anyone in the whole world who's not part of an evil, corrupt government. They're bringing in thousands and thousands of armored vehicles now, circling them around us, basically, bringing in small tactical missiles. They want to be, the CIA, the Nazis basically, want to have 30,000 drones in the sky, armed to kill, just over America? But they got to divide and conquer. If the blacks and whites pull together, everything would be all right. The Hispanics basically take their orders from God incarnate on earth. That's some Nazi friggin' spy in the White House, or in the Vatican, called the Pope. So they just take orders. They just do what they're told by the Vatican. But blacks and whites, if they pull together, that could be a real problem. So they try to divide blacks and whites and draw the attention away from the fact that they're preparing to kill all of us. They built death camps all over the country, in a lot of remote spots, only accessible basically by train. You know how the Nazis did? Well, they found out that there's one gene that determines when the body stops making new cells. That's what causes aging. So they can make that little change, and a lot of people you think they're 95 or 100 years old might only look maybe 42 or 38 years old. Yeah, some of the actual same Nazi spies. In any case, Rockefeller and Nancy Pelosi, apparently there's no term limits on them, and someone claimed that they're really the president and vice president of the United States, but still not the big bosses. But Rockefeller through Rothschild is a big shot. In Benghazi, that ambassador, I think they allowed him to be murdered, wanted him to be murdered because he's getting ready to whistleblow about illegal arms deals with Al-Qaeda. Flown to safety. How long the clock never...
Yeah, it went down to zero.
How long ago?
It was at 25 and it went down to zero.
How long ago?
You ran out of time about 2 minutes ago. But
2 minutes?
Just a second.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.